Alright, we are here with the DD2 video, and we're gonna do a build on the Wildest West C11. Say you're trying to farm some reroll tokens. I'm gonna be using Dryad here, so I love Dryad. The only reason why I'm using it, I hate this whatever plasma defense. I can't stand it. So we're gonna build this the way I like to build it. So we just place a tree here. And yeah, I don't like to risk hex throwers, so I get trigger happy on these reflect beams. So I like to place them everywhere. Not necessarily a good thing. Uh, these you want to try to get it right onto this corner here because that helps block it from these hex throwers. I've had a bad experience with these hex throwers specifically. And then we're going to take these biometric scanners and place one here, place one up there, here, sort of close so we get this range pylon, and then we go up here and place one right here. Then we want to get this one with a range pylon, so we want to place it close there, go up here, here, and we like to get in here. So once that range pylon kicks on, these will go up even bigger. So it covers almost this entire lane here, so that goes around. Very good, very good. And then we want to get a boost aura down. So I like to fit this in as close as I can, and it'll also get that range pylon. So normally you could get a buff beam down, but screw it. We don't even need that. Okay, a little slight change of plans here, pretend I never did that. We're going to place it a little further back here, so that way we'll just throw a reflect beam right on through here. And that'll also get our bees, of course. Then we can place down some bees. So if you did see a Juice Bags video, I seen this from him. He's seen it from someone else, I believe, but either way, it works. It's a very good placement strategy. Now, I slight tweaks on my part, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, basically, just want to get as many in here as possible. Now, I set this up slightly differently. I do this. Now, this may be completely overkill for certain things, but I build this for survival. It's just my go-to. I enjoy farming survival. And then we get the third right here. Right. right here. Jesus. Okay. Then we want to get a buff beam down. As you can see, we still have a lot of DU, but we'll get to that. Okay. So you can place these just like this. Right? I'm not losing my mind here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Get that down there, and we can get it in here. And we can go over here. And that should get everything. Not sure. I just kind of go with the flow. It's there. Trust. Okay, and then we can go in with more bees. So we got the rest of this for bees. Place right there. We can place one over here. Place one over here. Here. Still got some more room. So go a little bit more. I don't even know if I want to place one like that. Might have a little more trouble up front from time to time, so we can go over there and just get rid of, I don't know, that one. Take it right out of the middle. Nice and good. Just get it in somewhere in here, right? Oh, wait, I seen it. Yeah. There we go. And since we're Dryad, we're going to be playing on Dryad. So of course you want some stars. Like, just build up some stars before you go, but those might disappear because I'm about to show some stuff. So for my Moss Hornets, We're running anti-melee, jack of all stats, and defense rate. Defense rate, you do not need a 10 out of 10 to cap out your defense rate, as you can see on these. These are completely capped out. Because that jack of all stats also gives rate. It's kind of just a good thing to have. And a 10 out of 10 jack of all stats is fantastic. World Tree we're running, don't worry about the thick vines, but Vicious and Deadly, just to get some extra range on there. And then we're running Super Swarm, Gilded Destruction, and Mass Destruction on our Hornets. On our boost, we have nothing fancy whatsoever, just, basic, diverse crit damage setup. Running Hardcore Destruction and All for One. And then for our buff beams, again, nothing super fancy, just something to get the job done. This is what I'm running: crit damage, power, diverse power. I need a diverse crit damage, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm running an automation, destructive, and range pylon on that. Not exactly the needed setup there. You can easily swap out automation with some. That's just being safe. Matter of fact, mine's only in level 9 because I don't care for upgrading it. I think that's basically it. Besides our biometric, that is just a crappy anti-heal servo. That's all I'm running on it, with Chilling Pulse, Enhanced Scan, and Deadly Strikes. Of course, we don't even have really a built character either, just something basic going on here. We have 58% crit, 151 crit damage, all the good stuff. Pretend I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's start this up. We want to wait for things just to get a little bit closer, because it is a big map, so I want to preserve our celestial power. Everything just dies. Feels great. Now, you could swap out the Godly Relic substat instead of crit damage, like I'm using. You can go crit chance. But still, beggars can't be choosers. You get what you get. I do have enough Godly Orbs to reroll it once or twice, but I'm currently trying to upgrade my other equipment rather than rerolling stats that don't necessarily need to be rerolled. As you can see, it still gets the job done quite easily. Really, that's just how far do you want to be able to go into survival at the very, very top end. But, all our stars are gone, but no problem. Since there's only one lane going on here, all my bees can focus on that, so I can easily unswap and, just get some more and go back in. And you can just kind of just sit here and watch. Now, these bees, tier 1, up in the middle, I don't know. They seem to all be doing relatively the same amount of damage. These are going to be the strong ones. That's 5.8 mil tier 1 damage. I think that's quite powerful, in my opinion. And I will upgrade one of them to tier 5 as fast as I can, so you guys can see what a tier 5 damage would look like on something like this setup. I just want to collect some mana, make sure upgrades are always worth it. This guy, don't worry about this guy. He kind of goes invulnerable, so you can't deal damage to him anyway. The anti-heals to make sure when he's invulnerable he's not gaining health back. They're always going to make it a little close to the crystal, but they usually always die. The only time I haven't had them die is when I'm not very smart and I forget to go into my corrupt form, which the bees really need the corrupt form because they gain an extra bee and they also gain movement speed, which bees, when you're not in corrupt form, can get overwhelmed quite easily and can cause you to lose even a C9 map, because you just don't got that little bit of extra oomph for the larger crowds, I would say. Especially the maps that are more spread out like this, where you're going to have them not necessarily attacking in one general direction, such as like Gates of Dragonfall. This is actually very, very easy. This is also why I kind of prefer doing survival. I don't care so much about like farming certain things like tokens and whatnot all the time, because I prefer a good challenge. And as you get further in survival, stuff does get harder. Now, the furthest I've taken this build on waves is only like 120 something, but I ended up forgetting to go corrupt, and I instantly lost. I can easily go past that. I was even doing, I was on floor 90 with 4 people on this map, and it was still doing very, very well. No effort to really put in at all until you get some siege rollers. Of course, you got to pay attention to the siege rollers, and you do got to kill them. Bees do not kill siege rollers, such as nether archers. Nether archers can kill siege rollers, can do it quite easily, to be honest. So now we're going on a second wave. We got a bunch of mana. We can see what. Try to get one of these up to tier 5, which is a good one. So that's tier 5, and we are sitting at 17.5 million. Now, bees do scale with levels very, very well. They get a lot of extra damage from levels. Not all defenses can do this, mostly because, well, they're just not bees. Bees are good. I like bees. I am completely biased towards bees. I love bees. Bees. Anyways, it's very chill. Really, you just want to pay attention to siege rollers. And you can even just stand back here. I usually just fly and chill right here, watch this crystal, see if anything's getting close, and look for that top health bar to be a siege roller. When it is a siege roller, you go kill it, then you just come back, load up on stars, and chill again. Very simple. Of course, the only thing with going into late survival rounds with this build is, can your character, or do you got a character to kill those really thick siege rollers? They end up getting a lot of health, and you need to do a lot of damage. So typically a nuke monk will be one of the best things you can do. Huntress can be well, or just a bow build in general. I've seen an Eevee do a lot of damage. A lot of characters can, but there are, best choice characters. I like Dryad. Dryad can do a lot of damage to sieges. I don't even have really a build for my ability power in a good place right now, and I can kill them. I mean, the tankiest one I've killed, of course, was only like 500k HP, I believe. That one took a second, but it did not make it to my crystal. I did kill it. So the main limit on this build in survival is, I would say, siege rollers. If I had like someone who could kill siege rollers in my party much easier than I could easily go probably wave 200 maybe, I'd say. But yeah, siege rollers are tanky. I think around 120 or something. My ogres were at about 1 billion HP. That's a bit much. It's quite enjoyable seeing the number, though. I will not lie. When I seen that pop up, I just kind of laughed. Was kind of shocked at the same time, but I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed watching them get absolutely decimated. Now, I'm not even going to upgrade the bees. I only upgraded the one to show the damage. And we're just going to get through this whole thing on tier 1 bees. As you see, they do get a little close. Unless you are incorrupt. You are incorrupt. You just basically die. Especially right when they hit these biometric scanners for that 53% armor shred. Now that can be higher. I just do not have mine gilded. Same as I do not have my Superswarm gilded. Superswarm can give a lot more damage if you do have it gilded, but not all of us are lucky. I think I only have like 4 or 6. Now, I am newer to these later updates. The Elemental Rumble. See, I tried to play it, and I just said, okay, I'll play an easy, and it was very easy. Completely skipped medium, and I went to hard. Well, nobody said, nor does it state, what level those enemies are on hard. Well, I am not really set up to do hard Elemental Rumble. I think it said something stupid like level 1.5 million or something like that. I mean, when I seen that, I actually rubbed my eyes for a second, trying to count the zeros. And yeah, I lost that map. Now that was not enjoyable. Now eventually, I think I will set up for Elemental Rumble. I just personally do not care. I could set up a Countess if I wanted to. I know that can be quite good, and I could set up my PDSs, but that I do not want to do. I do not like PDSs. I think they are very boring. I have fun with bees. I like watch my bees kill things, not 10 towers just sitting in the middle. It reminded me of the old boring days back in early DD2 time, and you would just spam Deadly Strike towers and buff those. And you would also have typically like an apprentice standing on it or next to it, just sitting there buffing it. I felt like that playstyle was very boring. I like trying new things, and I like bees. Don't know if I can state that enough. I mean, I can't imagine being a huge ogre walking out and I get killed by bees, or technically hornets. We're just gonna watch these continue to get melted. Mind you, these are still T1 besides this one. This is the one I did upgrade. Okay, right, bad damage. Okay, so 17.5, but I have my shard on, I believe my boots, so it's actually 15.4 million. Just a clarification there. What are the chances I go to these gloves and it's a 10 out of 10 healthy AP chip? I know it is. I know it is. It's not. Of course it wouldn't. I mean, I don't even know why I looked. Well, that boss got completely destroyed. As they all tend to do, except siege rollers. Cannot specify that enough. Gotta kill the siege rollers. Now, if things ever do get hairy, just don't forget to just let out a big scream and start panicking, because that always tends to do the trick. It's worked for me in the past, especially on survival, because I would start on a wave that was too high to start on, and the thing with bees is they scale really well with levels. In my opinion, they do. So getting those levels is very important, and also being corrupt. Those two together make very, very powerful bees or hornets. We're just gonna get some more stars here. Now, like I said, you can preload those up, and you can just put them somewhere at the start of a wave. Not completely needed. That's just if you don't want any downtime on your bees, but sometimes if you can do it right, if things are getting close but your bees aren't over there, you can go out of corrupt, and then you can go recorrupt, and that'll spawn the bees back at there, and they will retarget. That is also very good to know, because it can help you in very specific situations. Mind you, these biometric standards, they are also not built for damage whatsoever. You do not typically build these for damage. I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying I don't really think it's the best choice to do that, especially with I can get more attack range on these, so you could go something like a range server. That would also be very good. You could go an attack rate server, saying you're wanting to use it to properly apply something. Obviously, I do not have very good attack rate on it, but it does its job. That's all that matters. Or you can always check, look for siege rollers before a wave. Obviously, we still don't get a siege roller here, so I can't show that. Technically, you should be blessed to not get a siege roller, unless you're a nuke monk. Then you kind of take pride in your damage and you enjoy killing sieges because it's your time to shine and you get a one-shot something. Not all nuke monks can one-shot, and it also depends on the nuke monk build you're going for, but typically nuke monk is meaning one-shot, right? You're trying to kill something in one shot. That's all there is. So you can have strong nuke, like not strong, but strong monks that don't go for the one-shot but can kill things almost just as fast. It all depends on how you build your monk, but typically the nuke monk will be the stronger one because you have the shard where you fire your secondary attack, and it just builds up stacks and increases your hero damage, and then it gets removed on the first hit. So you would have this. This would build up stacks. I don't think I actually have it equipped. I do not. And then you do your last hit and you kill it. I didn't feel like going for a nuke bunk. This I originally played a lot on Xbox. That's where 90% of my hours were. This is technically an alt account, but it's a different account because I'm on PC. It really does suck. No siege roller. I'm kind of in the mood for killing a siege roller. So we're coming up to the end of Wave 5. We got the flyers coming in. Never have to worry about the flyers. Bees easily take care of all the flyers. Especially the little lightning guys here. To my knowledge, those are the tankier of the flyers. But they also go down quite easily. Now, the other thing that can be a big pain if you don't have your proper mod setup, currently I do have a pest repellent, it's still not that good, but I do. I believe that counts towards the assassins. Assassins will kill you, especially Skarnash. I believe that is the boss assassin. He will kill you very, very fast. Like, I'm trying to counter dying, so I'm going plated armor. That is a percent just less damage taken. I feel like I find that very good. I got plated armor on my helmet too, including pest repellent. Very, very crappy rolls on these mods, but I enjoy having at least the mods that I want on the helmet already. That way, if I never find another good one, which of course I will eventually, but I can also just re-roll these. So of course, light chip is going to give me overall more damage, so I'm going to re-roll that first. I don't even think I have any rerolls, but I do. So I'm going to hit this a couple times because why not? Give me something good. A 1. I'll take a 1. A 2. Thank you. A 2. Thank you. How about a 10? Nothing. So rerolling is a love-hate relationship. More hate than love, but it's there. Now, you can also advance these to godly, so I can do 2, but I am lacking in C11 ampules. But these will increase the stats slightly, and that's always good. So make sure you're advancing the godly when you got all the stats you want. Now you can do even better than this gear. I believe you got to get the ancient gear. You know, you got to get the sets. Those can be very powerful. I believe that's an elemental rumble though, and me and elemental rumble are not having a good time currently. I can do it, but I just really do enjoy survival. Now you got to kill the guys here. These mimic type things, right? You have skeleton, monks, huntress, squire, and apprentice, and they really should die quite quickly. We're just gonna pop this corruption, make sure we can get as many bees on those bosses as we can. You just start attacking the monk. As you can see, they are just hitting a bunch of crits, and he's just dead. See, the squire dies very, very quickly. Of course, along with the other ones. Alright. That's the end of that map. Why not pop open the chest while we're at it? Because sometimes it's not all about the speed, it's about enjoying the loot explosions. Now you can run these with alts, or an alt, or however you want to do it, depending on if your console or not. Anyways, all this will get loot collected, and that will be the end of that map. You guys take care, and have a good day.